Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final video for Chapter 5, Section 2 in your geometry textbook dealing with altitudes and medians. This video is going to focus entirely in on the centroid theorem and solving problems involving the centroid in triangles. So again, just to recap, the basic idea of the last video is that every median in a triangle, the centroid is on that median, and it divides the median into two pieces, a big part and a little part. So those two pieces, the big part and the little part, as well as the entire length of the median, have four relationships. First, the segment addition postulate gives us that the entire length is equal to the big piece plus the little piece. That should not be new, should not be something we really struggle with. Then we've got that 3 times the big piece is equal to twice the entire length. 3 times the little piece is equal to the entire length. And the big piece is twice as long as the little piece. So here's the problem type we're going to be looking at. Here in this picture, it does not state that R is the centroid, but we should recognize that R is the centroid because we have clearly marked that X, Y, and Z must be the midpoints of the sides of triangle ABC, and in each case the red line segments are connecting a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side, which means those 3 line segments, the red ones, are medians, and where the medians cross is the centroid. So we're going to be applying this centroid theorem. Now, in the directions they gave us 3 values. They gave us the entire length of median AZ. They gave us BR, which is the big piece of median BX, and they gave us RY, which is the little piece of median CY. So we're going to use each of those to solve one part of this problem. We're going to try to color code the problems. The first problem here deals with median AZ. They've asked us to find RZ, which is the little piece of that line segment, and they have given us AZ, which is the entire length of that line segment. So we need to go look at our relationships, and we define the relationship that relates whole to little. That would be this third relationship. 3 times the little piece is equal to the entire length. In other words, 3 times RZ is equal to AZ. Now what we do with that is once we've written our equation, we plug the number we know in. We know that AZ is 15. And then we solve for RZ by dividing both sides by 3, which gives us that RZ is 5 units. So that's the basic approach. What you should do now is you should pause the video and work through a couple of these. I would say probably the next couple slides, and then watch the video and see how you do along the way. Don't just let me do it for you, okay? You need to try these on your own and then see how you did. Okay, so on letter B, they've asked us to find BX, which is an entire length. In the directions, and actually I should change the color on that part I just wrote. In the directions, they gave us, that's the whole piece, they gave us the big piece, BR. So we need to go and we need to find the relationship between the big piece and the entire length, which is this one here. 3 times the big piece is twice the entire length. So in this problem, we would write the equation 3BR is equal to 2 times BX. 3 times the big piece is 2 times the entire length. Now BR is given to us as being 12, so we would plug that in. And then we'd solve for BX. 3 times 12 is 36. And then we would divide by 2. Which gives us that BX is 18 units. On the third and final one of these, they ask us to find CR, which is the big piece of median CY. In the directions, they gave us ry, which was the little piece of that. So we need to find the relationship between the big piece and the little piece, which is the very bottom one. The big piece is 2 times the little piece. So we would write our equation, CR equals 2 times ry, meaning that CR is 2 times 7. So CR is 14 units. Again, please pause the video, try the next example, see how you did afterwards by watching the video. Okay, so here in this picture, KP is a big piece, so they're asking us to find the big piece. In the directions, they gave us the little piece, PT. So that we would say, okay, the big piece is 2 times the little piece, which means that KP is 2 times 2, or 4 units. On KT, KT is an entire length. That is an entire median. Again, we're going to be basing that there's a couple different ways to find KT because we already found KP. Probably the safest way is to use the relationship that the entire length is 3 times the little piece to say that KT is 3 times 2, or 6 units. Okay, on to the next problem there. The next problem deals with a different segment. PL is a big piece. In the directions, they gave us RP, which is the little piece. So again, we should say to ourselves, well, the big piece is equal to 2 times the little piece. And that would allow us to say that PL is 2 times 3.5, or 7 units. And then finally for PS, PS is a little piece. In the directions, they gave us JP, which is the big piece of that same median. So once again, we're going to use the big piece is equal to 2 times the little piece. Plug in what we know, which is that JP is 9 units. And solve for PS by dividing by 2, which gives us that PS is 9/2 units, or 4.5 units. Now, we are in high school, so I prefer the fraction, but if you gave me 4.5 units, I would not count that incorrect, as it is an accurate answer. Please do not ever give me a rounded decimal. I will count that wrong. It needs to be an exact answer. Okay, again, pause the video, try the next one. Okay, here in this picture, P is the centroid, KP is 3, XJ is 8, PZ is 8, and YL is 21. So here we do have a little bit of a curveball thrown in. Okay, they tell us the length of XJ is 8. YJ is not part of a median. YJ is part of a side. And well, we know from the directions that if P is the centroid, then J is the midpoint of XY, which means XJ is equal to JX is equal to 8 units. Okay, back to the medians and their rule. KX is a big piece. In the directions, they gave us the little piece. They told us that KP was 3. So we would say the big piece, KX, is equal to 2 times the little piece, KP, which would be 2 times 3, meaning that KX is 6 units. All right, the next problem, they ask us to find JP, which is a little piece. And in the directions, they gave us the big piece for that median, PZ. So we would again say the big piece, PZ, is twice the little piece. We would plug in what we know is that PZ is 8. and then we would divide each side by 2, which would give us that JP is 4 units. Okay, and then finally they gave us Y. They're asking us to find YP, which is a big piece. In the directions, they gave us the entire length of that piece, which is 21. So we need the relationship between the big piece and the whole. That relationship is that 3 times the big piece equals 2 times the entire length. Plug in what we know, gives us 3YP equals 2 times 21. 2 times 21 is 42. Then we would divide each side by 3, which would give us that YP is 14 units. That is more or less the centroid theorem. Now there is one more example that we are going to do. It deals with variables. So, in triangle KHM, JP and L are midpoints, which means that Q is the centroid. So let's find the value of X, Y, and Z. So, for X, we're dealing with median KP, which means that we have the big piece, KQ, is equal to 7, and we have the little piece, QP, is equal to 2x minus 6. Well, we know from our midpoint theorem that the big piece is equal to 2 times the little piece. So that means that 7 equals 2 times 2x minus 6. We've set up an equation that allows us to solve for x. So we would distribute 4x minus 12. Then we would add 12 to each side, which would give us 19 equals 4x. And then we would divide by 4. But Mr. Wills, 19 is not divisible by 4. So what? That just means our answer is a fraction, 19/4. Or I suppose I would let you get away with 4.75, although I really would prefer the fraction. For Y, we are told that QH, which is a big piece, is equal to Y, and QL, which is a little piece, is equal to 3. So once again, we're going to set up the equation that the big piece is equal to 2 times the little piece, which means that Y is 2 times 3, or 6. Finally, for Z, we are told that the little piece, JQ, is 2Z, and the big piece, QM, is 4. Remember that the big piece is always 2 times the little piece, which means that 4 is equal to 2 times 2Z. Don't mess that up, okay? Which means that 4 equals 4Z, divide by 4, and we get that Z equals 1. That does it for the Section 5-2 notes. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Good luck on your assignment.